Good morning, students. Today I'm coming here to discuss the remaining part of the lesson tissue. Lastly, we have discussed about the plant tissue, various types of plant tissue we have discussed, and I hope you understood it. I hope you do not have any doubt. And if you have still some doubts, you can discuss with me, you can message me. And today I'm coming to discuss about the animal tissue. Okay. So animal tissue, that means those tissue which is found in the body of animals. So this animal tissue is mainly classified into some parts. So firstly, it is given in the book that is the epithelial tissue, then connective tissue, then after muscular tissue, then lastly the nervous tissue. So 4 types of animal tissue are discussed in your lesson. In this lesson. So all these types I also want to discuss with you. So here, one thing I want to tell you that these tissues, animal tissues, so all these tissues are present in a organ. Okay, so if you think about any organ of the human body, maybe heart, maybe lungs, maybe kidney, maybe nose, maybe ears, maybe eyes. So any organ of the human body, if you think, so each organ has all these tissues, all these 4 types of tissues that we are going to discuss now. So all of them are present in every organ that you remember. Okay, every organ is made up of these tissues. So firstly, that is the epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissue is what you see. It is the, it is like the covering of an organ. So epithelial tissue you will find in the outer side of the organ. So I want to show you on the board. You see, 1 second. Yes. So this. Wait, epithelial tissue. Okay. Epithelial tissue. Okay. And this epithelial tissue, commonly you can say the epithelium. Epithelium. Epithelial tissue is also said as epithelium. So this epithelial tissue or epithelium, it is like the skin. For understanding, I'm telling you, it is like the skin. That means every organ, already I told you that all these 4 types of tissue are present in every organ. So let one organ, we are discussing about, stomach. And this is the stomach. Okay, so stomach. So in the stomach, you see outside of the stomach wall, outside, there is a thin membrane which is covering the stomach from outside. Same way, inside, inner side also, there is a very thin membrane which is covering the stomach. Why? Because to prevent it from external injury. Okay, as there is a covering, so if any incident occurs, then directly the stomach will not be damaged. Firstly, the outer layer or outer skin, outer membrane may be damaged. And same way, if from inside also anything happen, then first of all, this membrane will damage. The wall of the stomach will not damage. So by this way, from outside as well as from inside, they are every organ, from outside and inside, every organ is covered. So that covering is made up of this epithelial tissue, or you can say the epithelium. So epithelium or epithelial tissue, what is the main function? To cover one organ from inside as well as outside. So what should be the main function? If it is asked to you that what is the main function of the epithelial tissue, then you have to say that the main function of the epithelial tissue is to give the physical support to the organ. It prevents the organ from internal or external injury. So that is the main function. So this epithelial tissue, depending upon their structure, as it is a tissue, definitely it is made up of so many cells. So depending upon the structure of the cells or depending upon the location of the tissue, where it is present, it is classified into mainly 4 categories. So 4 categories are there. Number 1, it is the squamous epithelium or squamous epithelial tissue. Epithelium or epithelial tissue. So this is the first one. So this epithelial tissue, it is actually one layer cell. That means the tissue is made up of so many cells, but these cells are arranged in one layer. That means one cell is arranged like this. It's not like this, that this one, like this, not like this. One layer cell is arrangement of the cell is there. So it is the squamous epithelium. And this squamous epithelium we are getting mostly in our skin or in the inner surface of the buccal cavity. That means buccal cavity means our mouth. So inner side of the buccal cavity, we are getting this type of epithelial tissue. So that is the squamous epithelium. So this squamous epithelium is also another type of squamous epithelium also we are getting. So as I said you that here this epithelial tissue is arranged in one layer, one line. But sometimes what happens on stalks also we are getting. So this is one like this stalks also we are getting. Okay, that means not only one layer, more than one layer also we are getting sometimes. So this is called as the stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified, this stratified word is used there. Stratified squamous epithelium. So like this also one type of epithelium we are getting. And this type of epithelium we are getting in our skin, in the body skin, where this type of stratified squamous epithelium tissue is available. Now, if you think about the structure of the cell of the squamous epithelium, then you will get the shape of the cell is irregular. They do not have a proper definite shape. They are irregularly arranged like this. That no regular shape is there. One nucleus is there like this. This is the squamous epithelium. So next one, it is coming. That is the cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal, C-U-B-O-I-D-A-L. So cuboidal epithelium or epithelial tissue. Epithelium or cuboidal epithelial tissue. So from the word, I think you understand cuboidal epithelium, the structure of the cells of this tissue are cube-like, okay, like a cube. So how is the cube? I think all of you know. So this is a cube. So their shape is like a cube, okay. So the structure of the cell is like a cube. Already I told you that these different types of epithelial tissue is named according to their shape. So these cells are cuboidal in structure. Okay, so where it is present, if you want to know, then it is mentioned here that it is forms the lining of the kidney tubules. Okay, then it is also present in the salivary glands. Okay, so which are giving the mechanical support to the organ. So where it is present, the inner lining of the kidney tubules. Within the kidney, it is there. Kidney is made up of this type of tissue. And again, we are getting it in the salivary glands. Salivary glands means inside our mouth, in the buccal cavity, inside our mouth, there are salivary glands from where the saliva is secreted. So it is also made up of this type of epithelial tissue. Next, we are coming to another one. That is the third one. That is the columnar epithelium or columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, so this type of tissue, this columnar epithelial tissue or columnar epithelium. So here also from the name, I think you understand. So they are column-like. That means long, column, like a column. Okay, row and column. I think you understand, no? So it is like a column. Okay, So this tissue, among them, some of them have some cilia in them and flagella, cilia or flagella. So what are cilia and flagella? That also I want to tell you, cilia and flagella. So what are they? So actually in some cells, it is observed that around the cell, some short hair-like structures are there, which help them to move sometimes, or which help them to swim. If they are in water or any liquid, then they help them to swim there. So this type of short hair-like structures are said as the cilia. And in case of some cells, not in all, in some cells, you will get some long hair-like structures in their body, not more. Cilia is more in number, but this one is less in number. So these long hair-like structures are said as the flagella. So this cilia and flagella, both of them are helping the cell to move in their movement, or you can say they help them to swim in some liquid, maybe in water. So in this columnar epithelium also, some of the columnar epithelium is having this type of cilia or flagella in them. Okay, and why this is columnar? Already I told you that their shape is like a column, long. Okay, so this columnar epithelium we are getting mainly in our respiratory tract. Okay, in the respiratory tract, or in our nose also we are getting. So this cilia or flagella which are present, so they are helping to filter the air that is going through them. So respiratory tract means our windpipe. So through the respiratory tract, what is happening? The air is going. So that air may have so many dirty materials in them. So all these dirty materials are filtered by the cilia present in this columnar epithelium. So that is the third one. And fourthly, already I told you about that. That is the stratified squamous epithelium. So already I told you. So that squamous epithelium is of another type of squamous epithelium is that it is a stratified squamous epithelium. So that is the fourth type. So these four types of epithelial tissue are generally observed in our body. Among them also, except them also, we are getting some another one, that is a glandular epithelium. Okay, so one new name we are getting, that is the glandular epithelium. Okay. So what is this? So from this name, I think you are understanding the glandular, that is gland. So these are the epithelium or epithelial tissue that is forming a gland. Okay. So it is said here that you see, sometimes a portion of the epithelial tissue folds inward and a multicellular gland is formed. Okay, epithelial says, this is the epithelial tissue. One side it folds and makes a gland. So that is called glandular epithelium. But not all time. That is why it cannot be considered as a new category of epithelial tissue. So it happens in some cases. So these glands may be one sweat gland, maybe sweat gland, maybe, or oil gland, maybe, or endocrine gland, maybe any gland. It may be any gland. Okay, it may be one endocrine gland, exocrine gland, sweat gland, oil gland. Okay, like this, any gland it may be. So this is also another type of epithelial tissue. So ultimately, how many types of epithelial tissue we are getting? Mainly 4, but sometimes the glandular epithelium. So mainly 4 are what? First of all, we discuss about the squamous epithelial tissue. So the structure is how and where it is present, that also I have mentioned you. Then another one, the stratified epithelial tissue, same epithelial tissue only, but not arranged in one layer. It is arranged in layer after layer. That is the stratified epithelium. Then we are getting about the cuboidal epithelium. So the shape of the cells are like a cube. So they are commonly found in the inner lining of the kidney, or sometimes they are found in the salivary glands. Then we have discussed about this columnar epithelium. So they are mostly found in the respiratory tracts. They are like a column. Their shape is like a column. The shape of the cell is like a column. And some of the cells are having the cilia. So what is cilia? I told you that short hair-like structures. And similar to the cilia, another thing is also there, that is the flagella, that is the long hair-like structures. So this columnar epithelium contains the cilia, so which are helping in the process of filtering the air that goes inside our lungs through the nostrils. Then we learned about the glandular epithelium. So in some cases, it is observed that some epithelial tissue, maybe it is stratified, maybe squamous, maybe cuboidal, maybe columnar, any type of epithelial tissue sometimes folds in one side and forms like a gland. So that are said as the glandular epithelium. And this glandular epithelium forms some glands like sweat gland or oil gland or endocrine gland or any exocrine gland. Like these glands are produced by this glandular epithelium. So I think it is clear to you. And here I want to tell you one more thing, that here diagrams are there. So epithelial tissue, some diagrams are there. These diagrams you have to practice because they are very, very important. So after this, we are coming to the connective tissue. Okay, next one, it is the connective tissue. Connective tissue. Okay. So from the word connective tissue, I think you can guess that this tissue connects the various organs. Okay, various organs are connected by this type of tissue. And mostly in our body, we are getting two types of such tissue. One is the blood connective tissue, and another one is the bone connective tissue. Okay, so blood, like blood, another one is also there, that is the lymph, like blood, and like bone, another one is there, that is the cartilage. Okay, cartilage. So what are they? So what is blood? I think no need to say you that blood is the main connective tissue of our body. So it has mainly 4 parts. One is the plasma, then WBC, RBC, and platelets. The 4 components it has. So the plasma, it is the liquid part of the blood. You can say the liquid matrix. One word we will get, matrix. I will tell you after a few minutes. I will tell you about the matrix. What is matrix? So one matrix is present in blood, that is the plasma. So as it is in liquid form, so it is said as the liquid matrix also. Blood plasma is also said as the liquid matrix. So in this matrix, the RBC, that means red blood cells are there, WBC, white blood cells are there, and platelets or thrombocytes, they are there. So the functions of this plasma is to carry the various materials through the blood from here to there. Food materials, maybe hormones, maybe some other chemicals, maybe waste materials, maybe all of these materials are transferred from one to another place through the blood plasma. Then RBC, red blood cell, so it is responsible for carrying the oxygen and carbon dioxide from one place to another place. That means mainly from the lungs to the various cells and from the cells to the lungs. This RBC is doing. WBC is responsible for creating the antibody in the body. That means if any germ enters into the body, then the WBC fights against them and kills them, and like that they are preventing our body from the various infections. Then platelets or thrombocytes, so that are some cells which are helping in the clotting of blood. That means if somewhere any wound appear in the body, then continuously blood is not going out from the body through that wound, because if it is going whole the blood will go out, then we will die. So it is prevented by making some clot. It gets clotted in that particular area where the blood is flowing out. So that is done by the platelets or the thrombocytes. So by this it is saving us, saving our lives. So this is about blood. And another one, like the blood, another one is that is the lymph. So it is similar to blood, but not looking red. Blood is red because of the presence of the RBC. RBC contains hemoglobin, and due to hemoglobin, the blood is red in color, but this lymph is pale yellow in color, not red. So this lymph is also helping in the process of transportation, as well as it is also helping in the process of preventing our body from germs. Okay. So this, as bloods are carried through our veins and arteries, through the heart pumps the blood, and the blood goes through the arteries and comes back to the heart through the veins. So same way for the transportation of the lymph, also the lymphatic vessels are there, lymphatic nodes are there. So they are helping in the circulation of the lymph. Secondly, the second connective tissue is the bone. So bone is also has one matrix that is said as a bone matrix. So this bone is also connecting the various parts of our body. Our whole body is connected with each part. Each and every part is connected through a bone. Some of them are big bones, some small bones are there. Rib cage is there. Our backbone is there. Those other bones. Every part of our body has some bones. Okay, so this bone is also one connective tissue. And like bones, some soft bones are there. Bones are generally very hard and brittle, but in some areas of our body, some soft bones are there. For example, the nose, you see, nose, the soft bone, it is not so hard. The ear pinna, here also bone is there, but it is soft, not so hard. So that soft bones are said as the cartilage. Okay, so bone and cartilage, so many differences are there. Bones are hard, cartilage are not so hard, they are soft. Bones are made up of the osteocytes. The cells of the bones are said as the osteocytes, and the cells of the cartilage are said as the chondrocytes. So like these differences are there. Again, bones, the bones are containing the calcium and phosphorus in them. Okay, and then cartilage, it is not having these materials there. Okay, so like the differences between bones and cartilage are there. If you read this part, then you can find out the differences. So that is about this connective tissue bone. Okay, and except this blood and bone, also some other connective tissues are explained here. Firstly, it is explained about the ligament. Okay, so ligament. So what is ligament? You see, one bone. We have already, I told you that we have so many bones in our body. So one bone is connected with another bone. One bone is connected with another bone by one special tissue. So like one thread is there, which is binding these two adjacent bones. Like this one thread-like structure, thread-like connective tissue is there, which is connecting or which is binding two bones. Two nearby bones are bounded by another connective tissue, and that is the ligament. Okay, so these ligaments are connecting bones. Same way, another one is that there is a tendon. Okay, another connective tissue is there, that is the tendon. So what tendon is doing? So this is a bone. So bones cannot move by themselves. So bones are moved by the muscles which are along with the bone. So this is a bone. So to move the bone, one muscle is there nearby. So this muscle should be connected with the bone, then only the bone can move. Okay, muscle can move, actually muscle can move. And when the muscles are moving, at that time, the bone is also brought together as muscles and bones are tied. Okay, they are tied. So this particular thread, which is tying this muscle with the bone, otherwise the muscle will move, bone will not move. Bone do not have the capacity of movement. Only muscles can move. So when the muscle is moving, as the muscle is connected with the bone or tied with the bone, that is why the bone is also moving. Here, for example, I am moving my hand. So actually, the bone of my hand is not moving. So here one muscle is there. This muscle is contracting. This muscle is contracting, and as the muscle is contracting, so as muscle is it is binded with the bone, so that bone is also moving. So this particular connective tissue, which is tying one bone with the muscle, that is the tendon. Okay, so ligament and tendon also differences you will get. So ligaments are connecting bone with bone, tendons are connecting muscle with bone. So ligaments are generally elastic in nature, and tendons are not so elastic in nature. So these differences you can write. Except this, also we are getting that areolar connective tissue. It is mentioned here that areolar connective tissue is found between the skin and the muscles, around blood vessels and nerves of the bone marrow. It fills the space inside the organs, supports internal organs, and helps in repair of tissue. So this areolar connective tissue is also there. Then after, adipose tissue is also there. It is saying that fat storing tissue. Adipose tissue is the fat storing tissue. That means the excess fat is deposited in our body, in the adipose tissue. So this is about the connective tissue. Then after the connective tissue, we are getting the muscular tissue. That means the muscles. Muscular tissue. So this muscular tissue also, mainly three types of muscular tissue we are getting. One is the, that is the, firstly, Okay, 1, 2. So one type of muscular tissue we can move by our will. Okay, with our willpower, we can move some type of muscular tissue. Okay, and this muscular tissue are actually connected with the bone. Okay, as just a few minutes before I told you that this muscular tissue moves due to which the bones are moving. So this type of muscular tissue are connected with the bone and which can be controlled by our will. Okay, so 1 minute. Yes. And this type of muscular tissue, again, one thing I want to tell, they are cylindrical in their shape. Their shape is like a cylinder. Okay, and they are multinucleated. So many nucleuses, maybe they're in one cell. Okay, and they have some stripes. Okay, some dark and bright stripes in them. So this type of muscular tissue is, first of all, they are said the voluntary muscles. Voluntary, because they can be controlled by our will. And again, as they have so many dark and bright stripes in them, so they are also said as striated muscular tissue. So this is the first type of muscular tissue. Secondly, another type of muscular tissue we are having, so they cannot be controlled by our will. With our willpower, with our will, we cannot control them. Okay, so they do not have like these stripes in them, and their shape is also like a spindle. They are having only one nucleus in them. Okay, they have only one nucleus in them, and their shape is like a spindle. They do not have these stripes. So this type of muscular tissue we can say the involuntary muscles. Involuntary. That means we cannot move them by our will. And as they do not have these stripes in them, so it is non-striated or unstriated. Non-striated or unstriated, we can say, muscular tissue. So this is the another type of muscular tissue, and they are branched. That means this is not branched, but they are branched. There are so many branches we may get from them. Last one is the cardiac muscular tissue. Okay, cardiac muscular tissue. So what is the specialty of this tissue? It is actually the combination of these two. So the cardiac muscle have some characteristics same as the voluntary muscles, and some characteristics same as the involuntary muscles. So it is a combination. But speciality is that the whole life, from the beginning of the life till death, continuously without taking any break, these cardiac muscles can contract and relax. So that is the speciality of this tissue, that they from the birth of one organism till death, continuously without taking any rest. Okay, without taking a rest for single second, it is working. Okay, if it stops, that means life stops. So like that, it is working. So that is the specialty of this particular tissue. And this tissue, where it is found, I think you can guess, it is present in our heart. Heart is the only organ which never takes rest. Other parts of our body takes rest. Even brain also sometimes takes rest. But our heart never takes rest. If it is taking rest, that means death. Okay, so this heart is made up of this cardiac muscular tissue. So these are the main things, main tissues today we have discussed. So I want to again revise you that first of all we have discussed about the animal tissue. Firstly, we got the epithelial tissue, that means like the skin from inner side and outer side of one. Every organ is made up of the epithelial tissue. Mainly 4 types of epithelial tissue we are getting. Firstly, squamous epithelium. Secondly, stratified epithelium. And thirdly, cuboidal epithelium. Fourthly, the columnar epithelium. Then we discuss about the glandular epithelium. So some epithelial tissue gets converted into like a gland, that is the glandular epithelium. Then we discuss about the connective tissue. So blood and bone are the main connective tissues. So blood contains, the plasma, RBC, WBC, and the platelets. And secondly, we have discussed about the lymph. Lymph is similar to blood, but some things are not there in lymph which are present in blood. Then we discuss about the bone and cartilage. So bones are hard, where cartilage are soft. Bones are made up of osteocytes cells, and cartilage is made up of chondrocyte cells. So this we discussed. Then after we discuss about the ligament and tendon. Ligament is the connective tissue which is connecting one bone with another bone. It is generally elastic in nature. Then we discuss about the tendon. So tendons are those connective tissue that are connecting one muscle with the bone. So they are generally not so elastic. Then we discuss about the muscular tissue. So 3 types of muscular tissue we discuss. Firstly, the voluntary or striated muscle. They are cylindrical in shape, and they have so many stripes in them. They are multinucleated. So many nucleus are there in one cell, and they can be controlled by the will. Then we discuss about the involuntary muscles. So their shape is like a spindle. And they are uninucleated. That means only one nucleus in one cell, and they are branched, and they cannot be controlled by our will. And they do not have these stripes. Dark and bright stripes are not there. Then we discuss about the special cardiac muscle, so which is having some similar characteristics as the voluntary and involuntary. So like voluntary muscles, they are cylindrical in shape and multinucleated, where like the involuntary muscles, they are branched. They do not have the stripes like the voluntary muscles. So like this, some similarities they have with the voluntary as well as with the involuntary. That means we can say the cardiac muscle is the combination of these two. But one speciality is there in cardiac muscle, that is what? It continuously, the whole life, it can contract and relax without any rest. So this cardiac muscle we are getting in the heart. That is why heart-related any problem, heart-related any topic, it is said that cardiac. So cardiography or cardiac failure, like this, echocardiography. So like this, all this cardiac word where it is there, it is related to heart. So these things we discussed today. I hope you understood. And if you did not understand, then you let me know later. You message me or you tell me. And I want to say one more thing, that today this class, what I'm doing, so it is actually not the live class. So I have recorded it previously because I have some work to do today. That is why I have recorded it last night. But still, you can ask me questions through WhatsApp, or here now this online chatting is also going on. So you can ask me questions there also. And in my next class, I will try to be a live class. I will try to take. Any doubt, if it is there, you can discuss with me. Okay, so that is for today. Thank you and have a good day.